All right, B-listers, you know the drill.
This is your official spoiler alert for the episode.
If you don't want any spoilers, stop the episode now.
And if you don't care about spoilers, hold on to your seats because this episode starts
Now. Hello, fellow B-listers.
Hi, welcome to the bcriticspodcast. We're your hosts, Liz and Court.
And our guest critic for this episode is Holly. Hello, Holly.
Hello.
Hi, Holly.
So Holly is one of my really good friends from college, and she's gotten to know Courtney really well. Also, we talk on the reg. Holly's one of our biggest supporters. We love Holly, and we're super excited to hear what she's got to say about this week's movie. So Holly, do you want to introduce the movie?
Of course I would. Okay, so this week we are going to be talking about the movie La La Land. Yay!
So exciting.
Holly, had you ever seen La La Land before this watch through?
No, this was my first time, and I watched it today.
What a treat.
Yeah.
Oh, you just watched it. Okay.
I wanted
so
it fresh on the brain.
Oh, this is
Perfect.
so fun. I've probably seen this movie like a million times. So I basically wrote like that what we were going to talk about for the episode like before even watching it.
That's funny.
Okay, but before we get started, for those who maybe didn't watch the movie or it's been a while, I'm just going to give a little description. So, La La Land is a musical following the romance of Mia, who's played by Emma Stone, and Sebastian, played by Ryan Gosling. Mia is an aspiring actress, and Sebastian is a struggling pianist who one day dreams of opening his own jazz club. When Mia and Sebastian's paths cross, a love story ensues where both grapple with falling for each other and following their dreams. You think that summed it up?
Yeah, I think so.
Without giving the end away.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Holly, like you can give the end away if you want to. We have a spoiler like alert for the episode, so it's okay.
Well, it wasn't what I wanted it to be. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
It didn't end how I wanted it to end.
We're definitely going to talk about it. But just to give a little bit of additional background, so this movie came out in 2016. It was directed by Damien Chazelle. And this movie was actually like incredibly awarded. It won 6 Academy Awards, including like Best Director, Best Actress, among others. And then it still holds the record to this day for the most Golden Globes with 7 Golden Globes.
I mean, I agree with all those awards. It was a great movie.
Yeah. So this is like, I'm like so excited that we're starting with this movie because it's like a critically acclaimed movie. And so we get to be critics now too.
Yeah.
I've known about all the awards and everything that it's gotten. So I'm kind of shocked myself that I hadn't watched it until now, especially like coming out 2016 and now it's 2023. Like, why haven't you watched it before now?
Yeah. I was going to say.
Well, now you have.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're really going to get into it. And I have like a bunch of topics for us to talk about. But probably the best place to start is just the fact that this movie is a musical and it has like an incredible soundtrack and an original score throughout. And so I want to talk about the soundtrack.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess just to start, I want to talk about Emma and Ryan's singing.
No.
It's bad. It's so bad.
No. Yeah, it was rough. First of all, one of the first things I did was Google, can they sing? Because I wanted to know, like, is this them?
Like before you watched or while you were watching?
No, while I was watching.
It's actually them singing.
Yeah, it's actually them.
I didn't know that they sang, and then I didn't like their voices. However,
yeah,
I didn't like their voices, but I think it fit the movie and their characters.
Yeah.
Like, I think it did what it was supposed to do. but I didn't enjoy listening.
So
I appreciated that it wasn't auto-tuned because when you see other musicals like the live action Beauty and the Beast and Ariel, like it's very auto-tuned and you can tell that it's fake singing, whereas with this it's their voices.
yeah.
Like Emma Stone still has her lisp and like you can tell it's really them. So it's like authentic.
Yeah, that's a good point. This is maybe controversial, but I love it because I think it's authentic. And I think like the way that they do the musical is like supposed to just be kind of like an extension of reality kind of. And I think it kind of makes it feel like, okay, yeah, they're singing, but we're supposed to interpret that they're having some sort of conversation. And so like I like that part of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind their voices that much.
Well, I thought about it like I didn't enjoy listening to their voices, but I think like the purpose of the movie was like, it had like all the noises of like everyday life. And so it was like if I started singing right now, it would be bad. So it was kind of like if normal everyday people started singing, like it wouldn't be
like they're
like
just regular
Beyonce or something singing. So like I think that was like important, but I didn't like it either.
I agree. It was atrocious, but it made sense for the movie.
Atrocious is a strong word, but like I get it.
It's a very strong word.
I'm more on Liz's side than Courtney's side.
Okay, fine. Okay, so what about like did you know that Ryan for the piano, like he didn't have a piano double the whole movie? He did
Did
all
he
the
actually
piano.
play?
Yeah.
Or did he just like move his hands around?
No, he actually played. He spent 3 months
Oh.
like learning how to play the piano.
I only know that because I Googled it because I was also like, can Ryan Gosling play the piano? Because I was like, oh my gosh, I was shook. I was like, what is this? I've never seen them sing or I never seen them dance. I don't know. I was shocked by it all. So
The dancing was good.
I did like the dancing.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay.
We still got to go through this soundtrack.
Table
Okay.
for later.
So, did you have like a favorite song that went on during the movie?
So I liked the what is it, City of Stars? That one.
That's my favorite.
But I don't think I liked it at first. I think I heard it and I was like, oh, that sounds familiar. And like maybe I've heard it like because this has so many awards and this movie is very popular. And then as it kept going, I started to like it more. But I didn't really like. I love musicals and I love to sing along to musicals, but none of these songs were super catchy to me, where I would want to go sing them in the car.
They're not like the kids' songs.
Yeah.
It's not Disney. It's not,
Yeah,
They
I
were
agree.
definitely more mature.
I love this soundtrack, like so much so that ever since 2016 when I first watched it, I will like play this soundtrack in full, like while I'm like cooking in the kitchen or like cleaning up the house or something like that. Like I love it. Like I just love all the music. It's kind of like jazz music to me. Like I don't know.
Maybe I'm like her character when she's like, I don't like jazz music. That's me.
I think my favorite is the Mia and Sebastian's theme song though, which is like basically the scene where Ryan in the very beginning like plays piano and Emma or Mia walks in on it. So like no singing. But y'all said you like the ones where they're singing, which I thought was funny.
I liked that they kept coming back to that.
Yes.
Like not only did the theme come back, but it like built. So there was like more instruments the next time. It was louder the next time. They were both in the scene like the last time it played. So it was just kind of like their love story in song.
Okay. And what about like Emma's solo? And I feel like I'm
so
bad. Torn to shreds, but I love that. Like that part in the movie makes me cry. So
it was cringy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, we are not singing right now.
No, you don't like it?
But I also I feel like her like as an actress, like she has like a cringiness to her.
Yeah.
Like even in like Cruella, like different Cruella, like all the different things. Like she's just more of a cringy actress. So then like her singing, I already have that like idea of her, and then adding on like the singing, it just like made it more cringy. But I think it did what the movie wanted it to do. Like I think it was it was very well done. I just think it was cringy.
Yeah,
I agree.
I kind of get that though, because like they asked her to tell a story and then like she starts talking, but then like immediately starts singing. So
Breaks out into song.
it's kind of like random, but like I think that's the point. Like I don't know.
Well, it got her the part, so I guess it worked.
But I thought she sang well in that. So y'all think she didn't sing well in that?
She's not a
Yeah.
singer. So like she doesn't perform when she sings. Like she's acting out in the scene, but she's not like performing when she sings. So if you go see like a Broadway play, you hear it in their voice what's going on. You could not even be watching the play or the musical, but you know what's going on based on how their voice is moving. Hers doesn't do that because she's not a singer.
I also felt
so.
like she was very quiet.
It's just kind of like monotone.
Like
Yeah.
and like sometimes like
whisper
okay,
singing.
like disclaimer, I watched the whole movie with subtitles. If I didn't have subtitles on, I don't think I would have. And also, I have hearing. I'm very loud. I can't hear very well, so everything has to be on like 100 volume. So I watched this entire movie on like 100 volume in my echoing apartment. So just take that in. But if I didn't have it like blasting with subtitles, I would have missed some words because she was just so quiet. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's a little bit mumbly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we're moving on because
Courtney's like, no
Courtney's
more,
heart is
no
broken.
more. Did you have any least favorite songs before we move on?
The ending scene, like Emma Stone's solo, was bad.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, moving on. Okay, next I want to talk about the dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And
I thought it was
like
great.
we're gonna have a better conversation, better reactions here.
Yes.
Yeah. So y'all liked it. You liked
Yes.
the dance.
Yeah.
I like the dancing a lot. They did really good. I was surprised by them. They shocked me.
Mm-hmm.
They looked while their singing was not natural, their dancing was much more natural.
Oh,
Yeah. I saw somewhere, and I think it was on TikTok, where Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling did an interview where they talked about the scene where they're leaving the party and they do that big dance number.
Mm-hmm.
And they said they had one take to do that. So they had to practice like crazy because they had to have the perfect day with no clouds, the lighting. They only had like 20 minutes with the lighting. And so they had one take to do it.
Wow.
I didn't realize they actually did that one outside. I was thinking it would be like on a set. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, they did it IRL in one take. And like I thought it looked perfect. I would never have known it was a one take
Me neither.
Yeah, no.
shot.
I
One
also
thing
love.
I did. Oh, you go first.
No, go ahead.
I was just say one thing I didn't like about the dancing was the shoes that they wore, like the top shoes. I didn't like them.
Yeah.
I thought they were ugly.
It was a little cheesy.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that I love that she switched from her heels to the tap shoes.
I think it was cute that she did, but I didn't like the top shoes they chose. I thought they were ugly top shoes.
Yeah, they should have matched her outfit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, okay.
Like they could have been yellow.
So I knew this was an iconic scene, the dance scene. And so I was prepared for it. And so I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures. It's like a big one. I hated the yellow dress.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I wish it was any
It
other
doesn't
color.
do great things for her skin tone.
Yeah.
But I thought it was like a good juxtaposition from what she wears the rest of the movie.
That's true.
Because it's like the bright scene, like the happiest she's ever been, kind of. And she's in like the brightest color.
Yeah.
Did you notice that like the way that they dress her, they put her in colors in the beginning of the movie, and then by the end she's only wearing like white and black.
Oh, I didn't notice, but
She loses her spark.
that's a good point.
No, she just like features. I think it's supposed. So this is like the next thing that's on the list to talk about, but we can just go into it. Use of color throughout the film. So like Mia is wearing like really bright colors in the beginning, and then like throughout, like when she does her one woman show, she's wearing all white. And then like when you see her after, and she's like supposed to be 5 years later, she's like wearing like a really posh white dress. But then like Ryan Gosling's character wears like tan, like what are they made out of? Like tweed suits, like the whole
or like linen or something.
yeah, like the whole movie basically. And I think that's just to show that he's like, I guess like older than her and like more established.
Set in it, yeah.
Yeah, but he's not established. He's kind of like struggling.
Yeah.
Speaking of the colors, I loved the girls' apartment.
Yeah,
Oh, me too. That was
Obsessed.
so fun.
I would live there.
yeah, with like the billboard looking thing in her room.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it was like she had the billboard, and then at the end, like when he's going into his club, there's like the billboard of her. I thought that was like a cool thing.
I know.
Whenever I see like 20 somethings in movies and their apartments are always like that, I'm like, this is so unrealistic. Like my apartment when I was like young 20s and struggling was like everything was from Walmart or like Goodwill and just like mix and match, like didn't go together. Like the fact this is so cute is just like not real.
I agree, but it looked so fun. The girls were fun. I did like the musical number. I didn't find the song catchy, but I just thought it was cute when they were getting ready to go to the party at the very, very beginning, and they were like getting dressed, and all the girls were singing and dancing, and everything was very colorful and fun. I liked that a lot.
Mm-hmm. What about
How did we feel about the opening scene with the dancing on the cars, in and around the cars, and jumping and everything with the cars?
I thought it was fun. There was a lot going on. I was like overstimulated. I was like, oh my lord, there's a lot of noise. And I kind of felt that way throughout the film, the whole movie. There was a lot of noise.
because you had your TV on 100 volume?
Probably. I could hear everything like, but I think that was like a point they wanted to make. I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah.
But like, just like it was like the hustle and bustle of life. You could just hear every sound. It was very loud and very clear.
Yeah.
And very distinct.
They really
So
made
they
the point home of like, we're in LA.
They actually like shut down the road to shoot it. And I think they had it down for 2 days. And then, but that
would ruin my commute. Ruin.
Yeah.
I would not be going to work.
So that scene was done in 3 takes too, that they like stitched together, which is kind of cool, I think. But I also watched this interview about that scene in particular where they were saying when they originally made the movie, they had it like kind of in a different order. So they were going to have like an opening credits and then the scene where Mia and Sebastian like run into each other in the cars and then jump into like the musical number. And they were like, it's weird. Like, it's like this movie has 3 different beginnings. And so then they made the decision to switch it to where that's like the very first thing you see and like that is the opening credits of the movie.
I like the way they did it.
Yeah, I agree.
It worked.
Because
And
I
then
feel
it
like
leads into the honk.
yes.
The horn honking. And I knew in that moment, I was like, that's coming back. That's going to be a thing. Like, there's no way. And then it was like a crucial part of the movie.
One of the times when it happened, it scared me so bad. Like I like physically like jumped like
when she's eating breakfast with her roommate.
Yeah, I didn't even have my TV that loud. It was so scary.
Funny.
But yeah, I liked the scene because I think it like introduced the fact that like this is a musical and like this is how the movie's gonna be. Because I think
dancing and singing and everything.
Yeah, and it was great. Probably the best singing in the movie too.
I agree.
I did notice as well that all of the dancers that are in the beginning scene are throughout the movie.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
They kept like all the like extra backup dancers like and they used them in the whole movie.
I did not notice that.
Me neither. That's cool.
Elizabeth, you're very observant during.
Well, there was one specific woman who had this like red afro thing, but like just the top part was like fluffy and curly and red. And then I saw her again and I was like, wait a minute. And so I Googled it and they were like, yeah, we used all of the dancers throughout the entire movie, like as if it was a play.
Huh. That's so cool. I honestly love that. Okay.
It's exciting and fancy.
I know.
Fancy.
So fancy.
Okay. So just to get us back to like color, the only other thing about color is that they did like single color scenes. So like for example with Emma, the one that we talked about was the one where Emma Stone is wearing like the all yellow dress, and that's like all you notice because that's like the only color in the scene. And then like the same thing with the girls in the beginning. Like their dresses are so significant because it's like the only color in the scene. But there's even
they're at the party of black, and then there's like the jewel tone girls that are there.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I'm trying to think of like other instances. I mean, there's even like small shots where like there'll be like a line of like, I think there was a shot where there was a line of like purple dumpsters, and that was like the only like color in the scene. So I just think, I don't
didn't
know, I thought
notice
it was
that.
super cool.
No,
Yeah, I didn't notice
I
it.
didn't notice specific things, but I did notice the colors were very vibrant throughout the whole movie. And like there was one I cannot remember the scene, but like her Mia's hair was like kind of glowing with like the outline, and it was like red, like a red outline of her hair. And I don't know if it was like this a sign was like glowing behind her. I don't know if that's like what they meant, but I noticed it, and just like throughout the whole movie, I noticed that the colors were very bold, and I felt like that was important. I don't know. It stood out to me. I liked it.
I think it's kind of to what you said, Liz, like where they use the same actors throughout. Like it made it feel like a musical. Like I think that made it feel like a musical because
the colors and the costuming.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
I also I don't know. This gives me like a color thought. Like it reminded me a lot of like an old movie, like an old Hollywood movie. And so then the contrast of like the colors, I don't really know what that did for me, but it felt like there was like an intentional contrast with like it's so
like
bright.
it almost should have been in black and white.
Yes, like I felt like I could have watched this in black and white, but then like they had all these vibrant colors, so it like stood out more.
So the director, I think he wrote the screenplay too, but he based it off of a 1930s musical. So that's exactly what it was.
I made a note. And I was like, what time period are we in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we present day? Are we like, where are we?
I thought that as well. I kept going like I must have missed something when it said like
but she drove a Prius
1945. Like
it's kind of like I think he took some elements from Pulp Fiction because I think he like had some time warp. Like it was supposed to feel like it was set in the like 30s, but then supposed to also be very modern to be like relatable to somebody watching in 2016. So I thought that was super
it worked.
creative. Yeah. Yeah. It's cool that y'all noticed that though. Okay. So just to go through a couple more like notable scenes from the movie. So we already talked about the opening scene on the freeway and we talked a little bit about it, but I want to talk about the party scene where they did Someone in the Crowd, and specifically the part where Mia was walking through and the music got kind of slower and everybody around her was dancing like
in slow-mo. But they weren't slow-mo. They were like acting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that cool?
I liked that a lot. I don't know how to describe it, but I just thought I was like, oh, this is cool. Like whoever choreographed this was good. This was good.
And then when they like jumped in the pool and all the people around the pool were doing like a choreographed dance kind of
like
and it
sync.
sped up. Yeah, it was cool.
I liked it. It reminded me of like the mannequin challenge a little bit. You know, remember the mannequin challenge?
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that, especially like when everyone was still and then the guy like dove into the pool and like everyone, it was like still, but he's moving. I liked that.
Yeah. That's definitely one of those songs too, like where if you ever were to listen to it like in the car, I don't know if y'all do this, where you're listening to a car or you're in the car, you're listening to a song and then you feel like you're in a movie. Does that ever happen to you?
All the time. I live my life in a movie.
That's some main character energy from both of you.
You romanticize your life.
Good. How for you? And I feel like that is like the perfect song for it, but you could just be like walking around your house. You wouldn't even have to be like in the car.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. I'll let you guys know.
Yes, report back.
Please.
There will be an update to this later.
Okay, so the next scene is weirdly, I think my favorite scene from the movie, and it's the scene, I call it the Iran scene, but the one where she requests Sebastian to play Iran.
I wrote this one down. I did not like it. It was so cringy.
Yeah, it's very cringy, but I think that's why I liked it because I think it's funny.
I think it was supposed to be like that.
Yeah,
Like I think
yes.
it was supposed to be weird and uncomfortable for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
wrote
was.
down, I think they did what it, like everything. I think it was exactly like it was supposed to be. Like she performed it
Yeah.
amazingly, but I hated it.
Mm-hmm. Like you were supposed to. I think you're supposed to be like, ooh, these two people need to move on with their lives, get out of here, and then you fall in love with
Also,
them.
like the
over
boldness,
time.
they'd only seen each other like in the street, you know, in their cars honking, and then like had,
And flipped each other off. They're like, "Whoa."
and then they'd seen each other at the when he was playing the Christmas carols, and then he like bumped her.
Mhm.
So this is like the third time they've seen each other, and she's gonna act weird like that. I don't know.
Well, I
Well,
think
she's like mad at him
yeah.
Yeah,
because she went to go give him a compliment and he like ran straight past her and was like, I don't care what you have to say.
and I get that,
And
but we didn't have to act like that.
Well, I think that's why in
I think that's part of it.
the A Lovely Night, like they sing like I could not be interested in you, you know? Like because I think they're trying to pretend like they're mad at each other still, but they're really into each other.
Yeah. Well, if you noticed, Sebastian's car was parked
Yes.
right across from ballet.
No.
So he literally just wanted to walk her to her car.
So sweet.
Okay, can I admit something? I thought this was just me on a fail moment when they took the I thought they were stealing cars. I thought they were stealing rich people cars. And then when she got into her car and then he got into his car, I was like, oh. So I had like made up this whole other storyline about how they were gonna steal rich people's cars.
Isn't Ryan Gosling in a movie called like Drive where he's like has a car chase and stuff? It's not that
No clue.
movie. I think so. I think that's his thing.
But
Okay.
then yes, I thought it was sweet when he went back and his car was right across and he had clearly just wanted to walk with her. I liked that.
Okay. The next scene I want to talk about is the planetarium scene.
Where they go floating around like they're in Charlie
Yeah.
and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I liked it. I
Good.
it made me reminded me of like, you know, like, and like when you watch a play or a ballet, and they dance with their, or they act with their bodies and they tell a story with their
Mhm.
bodies and they're dancing and not with their voice. I liked that. Because I think it was done really well. No, I
I
liked it.
think it was meant to show they were literally on cloud 9.
Yeah.
Mm,
I just thought it was
Yeah.
I was
cool
like, this
though.
is cheesy.
Like you could never have done that in just like a normal movie. Like the only
Mm.
reason they could have done that is because this was like a musical, you know? But it allowed them to,
It was already over the top.
and even like the fact that they were
Why
at
not?
the planetarium, like there was no one else there. Like it was kind of
Yeah.
weird.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like them, okay, this stood out to me. Like when they're driving to the planetarium and like their car is going, it was just like so, like the scene of like the car driving was so smooth and so fast. It felt like unreal. I don't know if that like pointed out, like, no, y'all
Yeah,
noticed that, but like the
yeah,
car
for sure.
driving was just very like old timey Hollywood, but like new age, but like unrealistic, but choreographed. But I don't know. It was just like everything. It was like seamless. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool.
I think it was supposed to look like it was in like a movie, like they were watching a
Yes.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah, it was cool. I thought it was like, I think it's like amazing to watch, and I don't even know like how they did that, but it looked very neat.
I agree.
I have another scene that I want to talk about.
Okay.
So when where we go to Emma's place of like where she works at the coffee shop that's like on wherever all the stuff is filmed in Hollywood. And that's like where the aspiring actresses and singers and people who wanted to get discovered, that's where they all work, because it's close to everything. And like all the famous people, all the directors, everybody walks in there and sees them all the time. And that was reminding me, like, I was having major flashbacks from the book, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo,
Oh yeah,
when she talks about that diner,
yeah.
because it's in the book.
It's
Oh,
probably
that's
a real
cool.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it is.
I liked that they like did a flashback to that diner or that like coffee shop at the end too.
Me
I thought
too.
that was
Yeah. When she like goes in and she's like the fancy, beautiful actress that the little barista is like, oh my God.
And she was so nice to the baristas too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unlike all the other people that were so mean to her the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Her evil
So
manager.
I think we need to talk about the end of the movie.
Yeah, so that's the next thing on my list. So
Okay.
this movie won like a bunch of awards, and one of them was an Academy Award for like what was it? Best.
So original screenplay.
Well, yeah, but it won Best Screenplay, but it was a Golden Globe. I misspoke.
Okay.
But I just wanted to ask like how y'all felt about the story and the twist at the end, and then we're gonna talk about like the epilogue scene. But just about the story in general, like how did you feel about it?
I at first I was like, it was kind of slow and I wasn't sure. And then as we kept going, I started to like it. And so then I liked them getting together. I was like, okay, I like this. And I was upset when they broke up and went their little separate ways. I was mad about that. But I was like hanging on because I was like, they're going to come back together at the end and they're going to fall in love and they're going to be happily ever after once they're both successful. And then I was ripped. My heart was ripped out and I was disappointed. And that's what I have
So
to say about it.
I hated the end. I loved how Sebastian was the one that got to like take her to her audition. That was ultimately the one, like her breakthrough audition,
Mm-hmm.
because he was like her biggest supporter, like biggest believer, cheerleader, everything, like the whole movie pretty much.
Yeah, I love that.
So I loved that. However, I'm a strong believer that they could have made it work.
Mm-hmm.
And that they didn't like try hard enough. Like, oh, you're going to Europe for 7 months. Okay, you have a cell phone. Like, you go on tour. Like, why don't you just like sync it up and make it work? I don't know. But I think they could have made it work. Also, I didn't like how they kind of insinuated that she had forgotten about him at the end when she walks into his club and she's like shocked
Yeah, like she's
that he had
hearing
like,
jazz music. You would think she'd be like
yes.
triggered. Like,
She'd
don't
be
go
like, wait a
in.
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead set.
But he obviously had not forgotten about her because she was on the billboard outside of his place.
Mm-hmm.
And he used her logo.
And he was playing their song. So like I didn't like that.
Mm-mm.
Not a fan.
So I've watched this movie like probably a dozen times. And when I first watched it, I really liked the end. Like I really, really liked it. And then I watched it with my mom and my sister. And my mom like liked the movie, and then she watched the end and was like, "Ugh, you tricked me. That was a horrible movie. What in the world?"
It makes it sad.
Yeah, it does make it sad. But I want to talk about the epilogue scene, which is this. Well, it's the scene where like they go back and kind of play
If it had been
out,
different.
like what if it had happened differently. So when he's playing the piano
Yeah.
and they go back. And what I noticed like watching it back this time is that like they have a really happy life together, but neither of them achieve their dreams in that like version of reality.
Mm.
And so like I thought it was really neat to show that like in the real ending like they both achieved the dreams that they were chasing the whole movie, and that's why they had to separate. So it was like the mature thing to do, but then in the other ending they still would have been happy but wouldn't have achieved their dreams.
I didn't think about it like that. That hurts. That's like
Yeah.
a hit of reality right there.
Yeah.
I think they kind of
Dang.
settled in their lives by not like getting it all.
I
It
think
kind
they
of
could
makes
have
people
been
think that they
together.
have to settle. Yeah,
They
I
could
think
have
they
been
could have made it
together.
work. Or they could have like come back together.
Yeah,
Why
I
not?
was like having a moment when like I saw, her kid and then she went back and like
Mhm.
she and her husband seemed like they were like good.
Happy.
And so then I was like, oh, this is gonna suck whenever she breaks his heart to go back with him. And then it didn't happen.
Did you think that that scene was real? Like, oh wait, no, this is what actually happened?
Yes. So I looked away or like I walked away and I had to come back, stop the movie and replay it because I thought I was like, what? When did they break up? What happened to the husband? Oh my God. And I was like, wait, was this all a fever dream? Like, was someone sleeping? And so I had to go back and rewatch it because I was confused. And then I was more hurt and upset.
Yeah, it is like the first time you watch it, it like kind of does rip your heart out. Like, because you kind of are having like a whiplashy moment because it's really surprising when you first see the like new guy she's with, and then like to kind of watch it all back. But that scene too is just like incredible with all of the like the murals and stuff that they make, and then like they bring back all the dancers and like it feels like a real musical during that part. Um, I really love that part of it. But then there's also this like theory that it's kind of like two movies within one because of the part where like they start watching the movie, you know, and then they go into the planetarium, and then like it's almost like they're like playing out their movie or their life as if it was like the other movie.
Like they were in a play.
Yeah.
Like a play within a play.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So like that's why I think it's like really interesting because there's like two endings to the movie. There's the one where like she leaves him and she ends up with the husband and follows her dream and becomes a big actress. There's the other one
Bad ending.
where she ends up with Seb and they're happy, but neither of them followed their dreams.
That's hard.
I know. But that's why I think it's such an incredible movie because like not a lot of movies that aren't like based on a book or like I don't know, like there's not like original stories like that anymore. And I just think it's so cool.
I guess I'm glad that we got to see both versions of like what their life could be, even though it was hard. But I need a third version. I need an alternative ending where they follow their dreams and they make it work. I want a third version.
Yeah.
I need a sequel.
Where she leaves.
I love a fairy tale ending.
Me too. That's the whole point of watching a movie. Because I want it to be real. That's why I romanticize my life, because I want it to be like a movie and I want a fairy tale ending. No, I don't want that ending. I mean, I guess
Yeah, what the heck?
I guess they're happy, but
the other thing too, and y'all are gonna hate me because I'm like going against y'all so much, but like I know that he helped her follow her dream at the end, right? Like he was the one that got her to go to the audition and stuff. But he did like the scene where they had the argument, and he like basically said like all those hurtful things to her, and then he didn't end up coming to her one woman show. Like I almost feel like their relationship couldn't recover from that.
that made me really mad. I was like, I was ready to go get him, take him
Me
out.
too.
I was mad. But then, whenever he took her to the audition, like he made up for it. But like, I mean,
Like
you can't really make up for it. But he tried. I don't know. I also thought it was ridiculous the photos that they were taking for John Legend's little band. That was awful.
It was.
That was
I think it was
so
supposed to
cringy.
be.
I was like, in the music, like, okay, I guess it was supposed to be over the top and weird. Like, jazz music turned like, I don't even know what that was.
I kind of liked it.
Okay, I understood like what they were trying to say. Like people like now people are buying things that are like trendy and popular, and not like what's classic and like good and authentic. So like I understood the contrast they were doing there, but goodness, it was awful.
Did you like John Legend in the movie?
I mean, he was fine.
I thought he was fine too. But
Like,
he did, I think he did write that music. Like that's his music that he did. So that's why they pulled him in as like a contrast to the score that's like throughout the rest of the movie. But yeah.
I didn't even know that was John Legend, so
Elizabeth. Okay.
I know.
All right.
Man. Okay,
Is
moving
there
on.
anything else that y'all want to talk about before we like wrap up this part?
Okay, let me think. I told you guys I thought it was very noisy with lots of sounds. I don't know. I just felt like we kind of talked about this being like a play. Like, you know, like I just felt like I could have watched this entire movie on a play, like on a stage.
Yeah.
It felt I honestly like you could convince me. I know it's not realistic, but like you could convince me they like shot the whole thing in like one take because it was just so seamless and smooth. And
I saw
I thought that was really cool.
I saw a TikTok where this girl said she convinced her mom and sister that they shot La La Land in one take, and she was like they were amazed, and it's just like that staring at the screen.
I might believe that because it was done so well, and it like when movies like I don't know you're watching one scene and then it jumps to like a whole different like location and time of day and it's just like choppy. This one like it was seamless. Even the parts that were like take you to a different time or something like that, it was seamless.
Yeah,
Cool.
it did feel a lot like a musical, especially
Mhm.
with all the transitions and everything. Okay. What about you, Liz? Anything else we forgot to mention?
I don't think so.
Okay. Are we ready to give our ratings?
Sure.
All right.
Yay!
So we use the letterbox rating scale, which is just 0 to 5, with half-star increments. So Holly, do you want to give your rating first?
Do you want me to just say my rating or do you want me to explain it?
Explain it.
Okay.
Yeah, do both.
So I gave it a 4.0, like just a 4, a straight up 4.
Okay.
Not for my own personal enjoyment or opinion of it. I actually I did not really like the movie overall. Like I probably wouldn't watch it
Oh,
again.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I know, isn't that interesting? But I thought the movie was really well done. Like I
Yeah.
think they did a really good job with it. I did at the beginning it was hard. It was hard to watch. I was like, "Oh gosh, I have to get through 2 hours and 8 minutes. Like this is rough." But then I did fall in love with the characters and I did keep going, but it was really long. I think it wasn't like too long. I think they did what they were supposed to do in the amount of time they had, and I think it was done really well. I think the music was done really well. I just think overall was a really good movie, and I would recommend someone watch it because I think it's someone else's cup of tea. But I just probably won't watch it again. And
That's
it's
fair.
not one of my top movies, but I think it was done well. So
That's
I'll
surprising.
give them credit. I know because I know you guys thought I was gonna love this movie
That's why we
because
picked you for it.
it's
Because Liz
right
was
up
like,
my
Holly
alley.
will love this movie. I was like, great,
Yeah.
perfect.
And I aligned
But
with a
it's
lot of
absolutely okay.
I aligned with like the romanticizing things, the having music in the background of your life, kind of everything was very dramatic. Like when she ran to the movie, when she left the dinner and was like,
I just
"I'm
went running down the
sorry," and
street.
ran on the street and then went into the movie theater. Also, they were so
I went up on the
fancy. They were
stage.
so fancy. Yes, and then went up on the stage and like looked around dramatically. I was like, yeah, I'm that dramatic. So like I resonated. I resonated with it. But oh my gosh, okay, pause. Another cringy scene, and I know they do this in a lot of movies, when they were like gonna hold hands for the first time in the movie.
Yes.
And it was zoomed in on their hands and we had to watch that. That was rough. But I understand why that was done. That's exactly how it happens in real life sometimes. Like it
So
was
do you
rough.
not like cringy stuff in general? Like,
I
do
don't
you
think so.
like The Office?
Oh, I love The Office, but that's
Oh,
different.
confusing me.
So that's like, oh, The Office is like cringy in a different way. I think that like love cringiness and like PDA cringiness, and this was more like a love story cringiness. I think that makes me feel weird.
I
But
think
like
it
The
made you
Office,
feel weird because it was like too realistic. Like it puts you in that mindset
ooh,
of like when you're about to
Feeling
experience someone for the
uncomfy.
first time and you're like, okay, like how do I do this? Like I felt that in that moment.
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't want that. I don't want to feel that in a movie. I want
Okay,
to
well,
feel like
Should just be natural.
I want
yes.
like birds singing around me, you know?
Oh my god, yes.
There weren't
Okay,
any
it's not
birds
Sleeping
that
singing.
Beauty.
realistic.
Aurora in the
Y'all are
cottage
both
with the three
princesses.
very godmothers.
Yes, exactly. That's what I want. No, but I think it was a really well done movie, and I see why it won so many things. And I I fell in love with the characters, and I liked it, but it wasn't one of my favorites. So
Okay, that's fair, fair. But you still gave it 4, so I
yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah.
Okay, what
I was
about you, Liz?
nervous to rate. I was nervous to rate, but I felt
No.
confident.
No need. You're all about respecting other people's opinions on this
hmm
podcast.
Right.
So I gave this movie 4.5 stars out of 5.
Okay.
I think this was the second or third time I watched it. And I honestly had forgotten a lot of the movie. Like I knew like the main like what was going to happen pretty much, but I'd forgotten a lot of little details. And it like started and I was sitting there and I was like, "Oh, this scene, the car scene." And then I was like, okay. So we get past that scene and then I just like was enthralled. I like couldn't stop watching it. Hermione was like yelling at me because she was hungry. Hayden came home and I was like, Hayden, I'm busy. I'm watching this movie. I was like so enthralled with it and I had forgotten how much I liked the movie. So I'm really glad that I got to watch it again. And like Holly said, I would definitely recommend to anyone to watch this movie. Whether or not you think you're going to like it, definitely watch it because it's one of the good ones. They should make more like it.
Yeah, I
Maybe
agree.
with better singing. I'm just kidding. Not better singing.
Better singing.
Okay, well,
Like Phantom of the Opera style.
Yes.
this is going to come as no surprise that I gave this movie 5 stars, which is a big deal. But I love this movie and everything about it. I love Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. I love the way it was made. I love the costumes, love the singing. I think the story is incredible. And I love the like use of like jumping in and out of reality kind of. Like I think it's so cool. And I think every time I watch it, like I like it more and more. And I would definitely recommend somebody watch it. So
Yay.
yeah.
So it got an average of 4.5 stars. It's a pretty good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I need to
Everybody
watch
go
it
check it
again.
out.
Maybe I'll watch it a second time. And
I
I'll
feel
let you
like
guys
the
know.
first time you watch it, it's like shocking at the end. So it might like be a little different if you sit on it and watch it again.
Let us know if your opinion changes
Okay,
if you
well,
watch it again.
I'll let you know.
Okay, well, that's all we have for the episode today. So we're gonna kind of like wrap it up. So yeah, I guess Holly, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Yeah.
I got to watch a movie, which who doesn't love to watch a movie and like stop
Exactly.
everything and actually focus on a movie? I honestly, like nowadays, it's so hard to like put your phone down and like not like text while you're watching a movie or like a show or like do work or clean.
Yep.
And for this movie, I literally like stopped everything. And it was so
Yeah.
nice. I just like curled up with a blanket and my dogs and watched the movie, and it was so nice.
Yeah, it was
I
great
enjoyed
having
it.
you. You're a fabulous
y'all.
critic.
Thank you. I try to think of, okay, normally when I watch a movie, I just watch like, oh, like he's cute and I like them, they're fun. But this time I tried to like really think like, how would Liz and Courtney watch this movie? What would they analyze? Like I need to come ready. And I think I did a decent job.
You did great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're gonna quickly mention our season 1 merch giveaway. So Liz and I are doing merch giveaways for our like first season of episodes. And this is like the first of the 5 movies of the first season. And I'm not sure exactly which piece of merch we're going to be giving away, but this is like one of them that we have. It's a like a sweatshirt that says the B Critics on it. Every time I wear this sweatshirt, I get like a million compliments on it. Like I wore it this morning and my friend complimented me on it. It looks super good. It's cropped. Okay. But for more details about the merch giveaway, go to our Instagram and it will kind of explain like how to enter the giveaway. Yeah. Yay.
Tell them where they can find us.
Okay.
How they can get on our Instagram.
Yeah. So you can find us on our socials, and I'll mention we're on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at bcriticspodcast.
Yep. So we want to say thank you again for checking us out. We'd appreciate if you could leave us a rating or review. And if you're loving what we're doing, subscribe and follow. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts.
And also check out our website, bcritics.com, or find all of these links on our Linktree in the episode show notes. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.